In this video, we'll look at 12 of the most incredible building demolitions ever caught on camera. Each collapse tells a different story. Years of history erased in seconds, explosive power synchronized with remarkable accuracy, and moments so dramatic they seem almost unreal. These are the demolitions that shocked crowds, amazed engineers, and captured millions of views around the world. For over 50 years, the White Giant dominated the skyline of Duisburg, Hamburg in Germany. Built in 1972, the massive 20-story residential tower once contained more than 300 apartments and stood as one of the largest apartment buildings in the region. Standing 93 meters tall, the massive steel structure once stored huge amounts of natural gas for the city. After being retired in 2013, the E-600-ton gas tank was demolished in a carefully planned explosive operation. The massive coal tower of the former Kaiserstuhl coking plant was one of the last remaining symbols of Dortmund's industrial past. Once part of one of Europe's most modern coking facilities, the reinforced concrete giant stood abandoned for years after the plant was shut down. In August 2014, demolition crews used 180 kilograms of explosives to finally bring the structure down. For decades, the Bonn Center stood as one of the most recognizable buildings in Bonn. Opened in 1969, the 18-story complex became a symbol of the former Bonn Republic era and was famous for the giant rotating Mercedes-Benz star mounted on its roof. But in March 2017, the iconic structure met its end in a massive controlled implosion. The Eiffel Tower was once one of Frankfurt's most recognizable university buildings. Completed in 1972, the 116-meter-tall skyscraper became famous among students for its brutalist concrete design and notoriously confusing elevator system. But in February 2014, the 32-story tower made history for a different reason. At the time, it was the tallest building in Europe ever demolished with explosives. This controlled explosion marks the demolition of an aging wind turbine tower in Emsland, Germany. After standing for more than 20 years, the older structure was removed as part of a process known as repowering, where outdated turbines are replaced with newer and far more efficient models. These towering blue structures are harvester silos, once a common sight on American farms. To bring them down, crews removed critical supports near the base of the structures. For more than 60 years, the Steinkimen transmitter mast stood high above Lower Saxony as one of Germany's tallest broadcasting structures. Built in 1956, the 298-meter steel tower carried television and radio signals across the region for decades. But by 2017, the aging structure had become too costly to modernize. These four towering radio masts near Thamar in Germany were known locally as the Russian Quartet. Built during the 1980s under Soviet engineering supervision, the massive steel structures were used to broadcast powerful Voice of Russia radio signals across Europe. This dramatic explosion shows the demolition of an industrial brick smokestack. As explosive charges detonate at the base, a massive pressure wave races upward through the hollow interior of the chimney, creating what demolition crews often describe as a giant cannon effect. The result is an enormous burst of dust, soot, Moments like this are rare on demolition sites, turning an already chaotic scene into something that almost looks like a miniature tornado sweeping through the rubble. The Gustav Knepper power station once played a major role in powering Germany's industrial Ruhr region. Operating from 1971 until its closure in 2014, the massive coal-fired complex stood on the border between Dortmund and Castrop-Rauxel for decades. In February 2019, demolition crews carried out one of the region's largest controlled blast operations. The first explosion brought down the huge boiler house in a cloud of dust and debris. Shortly afterward, synchronized charges collapsed the site's remaining landmarks, including the towering cooling tower and the enormous 210-meter concrete chimney, bringing an end to another chapter of Germany's industrial era.